I am Rocky Locke, currently a player within the King's Harmonica Quintet, and at the same time being the president of the Hong Kong Harmonica Association. Talking about the starting of my playing, it is dated back all the way to 1976. It was a requirement of the school that every one of us take one cultural education and take one sports education on top of the academic. So harmonica at that time being low cost is one of the default choices. Our quintet was just celebrating our 25th anniversary last year in 2012. As a matter of fact, we do come together since the 1970s when we were still teens. So after playing some 10, 12 years together, the quintet decided to make a formal establishment. So starting 1987, we are playing together very regularly on concerts, on overseas trips, and educating some of our youngsters, particularly our young fellows of the same high schools. So all the way until we decided that if we really want to make the harmonica movement big, we have to have a formal organization, and that's why we established the Hong Kong Harmonica Association, and then thereafter we organized the Asian Pacific Harmonica Festival, and also participating in many of the World's Harmonica Festival as we are now. The Hong Kong Harmonica Association was just celebrating our 10th anniversary in 2012. We basically organized one concert with 1,600 seats, all were fully occupied, and we invited 10 units within Hong Kong because they were the supporting unit. The association is basically something like a federation with different units playing by their own. They organize concerts, they organize activities, but every now and then the Harmonica Association, the Hong Kong Harmonica Association acts like a federation to coordinate among all of us. We were having 10 units playing in the 10th anniversary concerts. If you talk about the population, I would say a couple of thousand to 10,000, maybe around the size, including serious player to casual players. Serious player can be those playing every day, every week. A casual player maybe play once a month, or every year for 2-3 months they pick up their harmonica. So a couple of thousand to 10,000 may be around the size of the Hong Kong harmonica playing community. Talking about the development of the harmonica movement in Hong Kong, I would say it is not just the effort of we in the past 35 years. Our seniors back in the 1920s or 30s did start up the movement in the olden days. I remember, it was, we were trying to trace back the history, but the earliest history we can trace is sometime in the 1930 or 40, when there is a big flood of the immigrants from southern China to Hong Kong. At that time, Hong Kong was still under poverty. We were not very well off, so playing harmonica is one of the most cost-effective. So in those days, into the 1940s or 50s, we heard that, our seniors heard, or they produced radio program. They use harmonica as, the basic secondary schools or primary school education tools, and they started up the first wave, I have to say. And into the 60s or 70s, when the economy of Hong Kong start to uprise, and then the people are getting well off, and they are having more choices, so they were given either violin, flute, or other standard orchestral instruments to choose, rather than just harmonica or recorder at those days. So we saw a a kind of dropping of the trend, particularly into the late 60s or early 70s. I recall that at that time when we were doing harmonica competition in Hong Kong, we can have up to 30, if not 40 harmonica orchestras. And then there are, the plenty of people playing harmonicas. To quote one example, when we were recruiting junior learners, in 1 year, in one school, we are having 160 students. We can recruit up to 120 or even 130 as the learners at those times. As I said, with the advance of the economy, with the people becoming more well-off, people are having more choices. So harmonica is basically being set aside and aside and aside until we saw it in the late 70s or early 80s. We were, starting up at that time as the learners. We saw the trend being not so healthy, and then we did quite well on playing, I have to say. And then after playing some 10 years, we decided to give back something to the society, something back to the harmonica playing community. And thereafter, we established the King's Harmonica Quintet, and later on the association, and later on where we are nowadays. In 2009, I remember the date was November the 13th, that we broke the Guinness World Record of having 6,131 people playing harmonica together. There is a very interesting story behind the breaking of such a record. Remember that 2009 was the World Harmonica Festival. Our main resources and the main manpower were in Organising here, just like a couple of weeks before, no, 2 weeks before the World Record breaking day. So we divide our resources. Those remaining in Hong Kong do the calling up of the people. Hey, we have such a activity. Hey, come and play. And of course, the things are not coming up by the association alone. We have the Tom Lee Music Company, who is the dealer, distributor of the Hohner harmonica in Hong Kong. They have their senior management witnessing the breaking of the record in 2005 in Organising of 2,000 something people. He has a wish, hey, can we do that in Hong Kong again? And very interesting, around November season, the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra is also doing some mass concert in the horse racing course of Hong Kong, doing free admission. And then they are talking about not just a couple of thousand of audience. They were talking about 20,000 audience sitting on the grassland, seeing on the stage with the orchestra playing standard orchestral works. And so the arrangement is that in the intermission, the King's Harmonica Quintet was called upon to the stage to lead the playing of the theme, dang, 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 that theme, leading for 2-3 times, and then keep quiet for the mass to keep on playing. And then with this, the activity bundled into a standard concert, charity concert of the Hong Kong Philharmonic Orchestra, I have to say that is a multiple win. The orchestra win, the Hong Kong Harmonica Association and the playing community win, the King's Harmonica Quintet win, and Hohner win, Tom Lee win. So what a wonderful occasion of such a Guinness Record breaking activity. So that is the tiny story behind what a 631 magic number was made. Talking about my personal aspiration on harmonica playing, I have to say, before my teen, when I was still an infant, I know nothing about music. I have to say it was harmonica helping me to open the door to the greater musical world. That was at the time when I was at 12, entering a school which is having a very long history of harmonica establishment. That was the King's College. What I mean is the King's College Harmonica Band, which was just having its 60th anniversary in 2011. And this time, the harmonica band is competing in the World Harmonica Festival. So with harmonica being my key to unlock the door to the greater musical world, so I started to develop the listening hobby, concert going, and later on, the music making. And also, around harmonica, I found 5 of my lifelong buddies within the King's Harmonica Quintet. The interesting thing is that not all of us are of the same age. We are just like, fifth year, fourth year, third year, second year, first year, secondary goers. So we come together first as a senior and junior relationship. And then among the music making, among the harmonica, the related activities, we develop some unexplained, mysterious kind of relationship, what we call the buddies. And with the buddyhood, we play harmonica very often, at least once a week. If concert is coming by, we may be practicing two nights, 3 nights, or even every night. And then we use harmonica to do celebration whenever we have any wedding banquet. Yes, we do harmonica orchestra playing in banquet like wedding march, night nocturne, like those lovely the romantic pieces appropriate to this kind of wedding occasions. So with this and that, I also have a the personal tendency to harmonica playing. Why? This is highly portable. I just put it into my back pocket or in a pocket. I travel very much within the Asia Pacific and also occasionally into the European continent. Harmonica is one of my very heavy diplomatic tools. Imagine if you are after work, you are having a drink, while others are doing karaoke, normal, and then when there is a in-between musical thing whereby some people are keeping on talking or singing, I take out my harmonica and then I create topics, I create linking, I create some kind of, okay, if you are my vendor, you would love to have your kids following some harmonica training, learning, okay, I can make a referral. So harmonica is basically forming another pillar among my education, networking, career, this and that. So this is simply like one of the indispensable part of my life up to this moment.